The Apocalypse players present An Uncommon Burial. A Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenario written by Danann McAleer in the style of M.R. James. With Joseph Chance as Dr. Henry Carraig-Muire, Dan Wheeler as Reverend Perregrine McCutcheon, Dominic Allen as Lady Helen Marjorie Bjarmia Potts, and Danann McAleer as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. Part 6. The Book of Judith. And Carraig-Muire sort of reel back slightly in pain.
Yelping in pain.
Yeah.
Whack! I just bring the cricket bat straight down on top of his face.
Oh my god.
Fuck me. Okay.
As hard as I can.
Straight for the boundary, I'd say.
He's going to try and dodge. Fuck me.
Whack!
She's always a downwards momentum. That's the thing you got to remember about Lady Marjorie.
Yeah. That's what you have to remember about Bjarmia.
Okay, he succeeded on his dodge.
Way to those buttocks.
Do I get a bonus die for him being prone?
Oh fuck, you probably do, don't you?
Probably do.
Because he's on the floor, you see, because his shoes were tied with an excellent success. Everyone's happy, except our imposter. We're monsters, that's what we are.
So with my bonus die, that's... that's a fail. That's a 31 on a 25.
But, luck? Could you spend your luck? Well, it's not much, is it?
I've only got 24 luck, so I don't really want to spend it yet. In case I need to crush someone with my arse from a window later.
So I think it's because you come barreling in, and it's with that momentum, and you're sort of trying to analyse as you come, but you're so overzealously ready. He sees you coming a mile off, even in his daze, and he just sort of shifts himself back on the floor, and you just hit between his legs. He manages to just kick himself, slide back on the floor. So there you are. You've sort of exhausted yourself in that. And Perregrine, you're there, having just sort of pointed to these shoelaces and then seen this catastrophe unfold in front of you. And you're aware that this man seems to be like a trapped badger or something. You know, you can see that sense of like panicked violence setting in, which is quite unnerving.
The only kind of constable you are is the kind you get when a Tory Prime Minister has a shave.
Fuck me.
Only days away from the general election when this was recorded. I'd like to remind everyone.
But which one?
Exactly.
So Perregrine, I think he shifts slightly closer to you accidentally, just from trying to get away from Bjarmia. You know, you're sort of surrounding him. You have your knife out, which you were sort of pointing at his feet, so that's readied. I mean, Perregrine doesn't strike me as the type to stab a man to death even in this moment.
No, I think I am. I don't think I do. I think I speak to him. I hold the knife out, and I say,
What does the Bene Gesserit say?
I hold my little pocket knife out, and I sort of draw it up from his feet towards his neck.
Oh yeah.
And I say, I never really thought about my mother's name until this moment. You know the Book of Judith.
Oh. Okay.
You've heard of Holofernes.
It's nice.
I'd been wondering whether Theodore Pugh was Holofernes, but now I wonder whether that's your role. Judith, Who got Holofernes intoxicated? Intoxicated.
Give him another drink.
Quick. Love it.
Judith, who got Holofernes intoxicated and beheaded him.
Oh, I feel like, is there a roll to be done here to break out of combat to see if you're successful in, like, because he is in a moment of panic, and I love what you're saying. I just feel like maybe to sufficiently, like, do you think you're trying to
Spiritual awe.
Well, it's probably a theology roll, isn't it?
Well, it's a theology roll if he genuinely does know about Holofernes.
Intimidation?
Which is a bit of a risk on your part, I'd suggest, but he might do.
I mean, it sounds quite intimidating to me, but...
Yeah, okay, I mean, it probably is intimidation, isn't it?
I mean, you've succeeded on Intimidate in the past, so you must have got some points in it, although I know it went quite badly.
No, I have...
Persuade? Maybe it's a sort of rhetorical accent.
I just feel it's a social thing rather than... Because I know your theology is fantastic, I'm not sure if theology...
It's deeply unusual in a fight, but I just wonder whether, with the grace of Danann's elastic and storytelling keeping...
Psychology?
Persuade's no good. Okay.
My persuade is very bad. My intimidate is not great. My fast talk is terrible. My charm is okay, but this definitely isn't charming.
What if I was to give you a bonus die for your excellent theology on a social roll of either? No, it's still not going to do you a huge amount of good, probably. But
I mean, it's intimidate is what I'm doing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I feel.
Give me a bonus die on my intimidate.
I'll give you a bonus on your intimidate.
So yeah, I say I say that. And suddenly I understand the relevance of my mother's name. I am Judith. The question is, are you Holofernes? Is it your head that will be taken?
Oh, I love it. And how does he do?
Oh, hey, a 14 on my 15 intimidate.
No.
Genuinely?
No.
That's fucking great.
On my regular die, I didn't need the bonus.
Amazing.
14.
So he does. You say this about your mother's name, and the Holofernes reference. I know you. Will it be your head? And he's on it. He's prone already. He's trying to get up, but he's sort of shifted towards you, away from the cricket bat hit. But he looks up at you, and his pupils sort of widen again. These really black eyes, and you see their bloodshot around the edges again. You're sort of reminded of the eyes you saw the night before, in a sense. And it's almost as if he's like lifts up towards you slightly, and I don't know. He stops. He stops struggling, and he's still there, like in a sort of braced position on the floor. The other two sort of more around his legs, and his sort of head upside down, facing you, if that makes sense. He's sort of head first towards you on the floor, and he sort of raises up slightly and looks into your eyes, and you can just see the fight sort of leaves him for a second, and he says, "Is she your mother, Judith?"
She is.
And, Holofernes, remind me.
An Assyrian general. Sycophantic servant of Nebuchadnezzar.
I should ask, just to double check, the other two of you, I'm just assuming, are going along with this for a moment, and you're not just about to...
Essentially, if it's the start of a new round, I will definitely hold any swing, seeing that there's this interlocution happening. This interrogation, perhaps, might be too strong a word, but an exchange. There's an exchange happening. I think maybe I look frantically at you, Lady Miriam. Miriam Margulies. I don't know why I'm thinking about her. Why am I talking about her? Why have I gone to Glasgow? Why am I Glasgow suddenly?
Why would you think of her?
Lady Helen something Bjarmia Potts. Marjorie. I just briefly forgot. Don't know what happened there.
Marjorie, please.
And so essentially it's in her hands. I leave it in her hands.
Yeah.
Yes, I just wait, because I'm sort of interested where this conversation's going to go. But I remain poised with the cricket bat.
He says, Nebuchadnezzar, yes. And Judith, what happened to Judith?
Well, she was hailed as a hero, of course, of the Israelites.
Of course she was, yes. And what happened to Nebuchadnezzar?
Now, I would have to check my historical sources.
Is that what you say?
No.
You can check them if you want, because I know you've got a good theology. I don't want to ruin your moment.
Let's see.
He died in Babylon.
What, Nebuchadnezzar?
Aye. Yes.
Does Carraig-Muire shout that? Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Perfect.
Babylon, yes. Well,
But you, my friend, you are no Nebuchadnezzar. You are at best Holofernes. And Holofernes had his head taken by Judith and carried back to the camp of the Israelites.
oh,
And that sight, the sight of Holofernes' head, rallied them.
yes.
Is that what you wish? And I just let my little pocket knife blade glint in the gaslight of the room.
He says, yes, interesting. Well, yes, my head perhaps shall serve as that. She must renew. She must renew. What did you say, Judith? The mother. She must renew, mustn't she? Yes. Perhaps the head is right. The charm must be restored. Every now and then. And he raises the glass to his neck and starts slicing into his own throat.
Oh, God.
I'll try and stop him.
Oh, God.
No, I'll dive away as I see the cricket bat coming down. No!
Whack!
Christ, man, no!
Hoping I'll knock him unconscious before he can do permanent damage to himself.
Great. Well, he's not dodging. He's trying to do permanent damage to himself, so roll me some damage.
Fantastic. Straight to damage, automatic success. Fantastic. Well, I'll roll anyway, just in case it's a crit and I accidentally kill him.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Good point. But he just starts, he sort of, yeah, he says this thing and he sort of says, perhaps that's right, yes. Perhaps my head will bring the same. And starts just soaring into his throat.
What do we reckon a cricket bat is? 1d6 plus damage bonus?
Gosh, I was not expecting that. When we started this, I was not expecting we'd be dealing with a cult, but we're dealing with a cult.
Fucking cult, man. It's a fucking cult. It's pretty...
Fucking cult.
5.
Oh dear, that sounds bad, doesn't it? 14 in total.
5 hit points. Whack!
And he's dead.
Well,
No, he's not
very
dead.
unconscious and he's bleeding out, right.
He's very unconscious.
But
But he's got to pass the constitution check immediately, hasn't he?
he what you see is like, you feel it sort of brap off his forehead. And you see that horrible thing that I don't know if you've seen like horrible fights in real life, you might have seen where like you see the bone dent in and you just know that that's permanent. You see that like dip in the skin and everything. It's one of the most unpleasant things you can sort of witness. And you see his
I can't
eyes.
say I have seen it in real life, but I know what you mean.
I've seen people who've got it.
Yeah, I've seen the aftermath.
Who are you people?
And he's going to do a little roll to see if he survives that. As his eyes sort of flicker on one side. And they've gone very bloodshot now, one in particular. Oh, fuck me. Yeah.
What did he say? What did he say? For some reason I was thinking about my Nebuchadnezzar history. I wasn't focusing.
I was thinking about my mother. He said something about the charm. She must be... what did he say
Renewed.
about the charm? The charm. She must be renewed. She must be renewed, he said. The head would do.
She must be renewed. For God's sake, man, don't die. And I'll try and I sort of go to cradle his head to see it, but obviously it's horrific.
He's
horrific.
fucked. His eyes are white
Damn
now.
it.
Do his eyes look familiar to me now I look properly at them?
Well, they're incredibly bloodshot. What's the best role for that?
Well, here's a question.
Yeah.
The eyes look very bloodshot.
Yeah.
Do they look bloodshot? Do they strike me as the eyes of, bear in mind that I spent a lot of time in the sort of
Sudan.
confessional and and speaking to people who've been troubled,
Yes.
people who've had problems with, difficult relationships with alcohol, or people who've been bereaved, or people who've been short of sleep. Is there anything about the nature of his bloodshot eyes that reminds me of substance abuse or a lack of sleep or anything particular?
Well, I've already, I think, given you that, like, there were broken veins on his nose and cheeks that sort of lent you to think that he might have an alcohol problem.
I suppose I am reaching for, are these the same eyes that I saw behind the mask of the owl?
No, I know.
Hard to tell.
It's hard to tell for sure, but you feel a familiarity as they sort of widen.
Fine.
And you think, maybe.
I want to see if he's wearing a ring. Is he wearing any rings?
And search his body. And also grab his notebook.
So he's not wearing a ring. Do you just set about him as soon as you see his sort of, the dent in his head sort of deepens, a sort of purple bruise?
Yeah. And I say, the real police are on their way. So if they ask, he came here to commit suicide in front of us.
No, he attacked. Look, he attacked you. He posed as a policeman and he attacked him. That's exactly what happened. And we defended ourselves, and then he killed himself rather than be taken. We're dealing with something.
Very good.
Oh, Christ alive, we're dealing with something truly awful here. And I sort of, as you're checking the body, I stagger away.
Yes, it's dreadful.
And I say, what did happen to Nebuchadnezzar? Did he? Which one was it? There's one who died peacefully and then the gardens fall. I remember that.
Oh.
But wasn't there another one who died horribly? His son.
I'm just leaning over the body and mumbling.
Where does it all end?
Quietly. I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong.
One of them had
comfort your heart.
Gardens.
Patiently for the Lord.
Magical gardens.
See the goodness of the Lord in
The hanging gardens of Babylon.
Lord. Be strong and he.
And his life came to nothing.
Wait patiently for the Lord.
And his legacy was gone in 25 years after that. I remember it.
And as these...
Is it just me going through the pockets?
It is.
Yeah, I think it is. In this moment where, like,
on their way.
there's a sort of really sort of fervent, like, but calm praying by Perregrine, and there's a really sort of frantic, sort of desperate sort of biblical searching sort of happening from the Carraig-Muire. I think, Bjarmia, you are the one who, having dealt the killing blow, as it were.
We're all insane, aren't we? We're all insane.
Yeah.
Not statistically.
No, but you are mad.
Practically.
You are off your fucking tits.
It's all gone very Masks of McAleer, as far as I'm concerned.
Master McAleer. And Bjarmia, you find the notebook. You can take the notebook. There's a pencil. His truncheon has sort of dropped to the floor. You can't really find anything else in his pockets. It's almost as if, like, he'd had no papers. Perregrine tried to offer him back the paper he offered you, but that's just still on the floor. He never took it. He swung it.
The police. I'll stall them. And I grab my opium bag and I dash out to the hall.
And as you do that, Bjarmia, there's one little thing. There's like a simple chain around his neck, like a sort of necklace. Do you want to have a look at that? It's the only thing of note you can sort of see.
Yes.
It's sort of a simple silver chain, and there's a weird sort of shape on the end. It looks like it's been pressed in resin or something. Looks like a sort of... it looks a bit like... what's the word for them? The three-pronged spirals, the Celtic...
Oh, an ankh? No.
Not quite an ankh, but...
I know the ones you mean. They're sort of slightly oval shaped.
Yeah, it's like like a fidget spinner, it looks like. Although that's not a reference they'd get, but like three spirals joined with a circle in the middle. I just can't remember. Not a triptych, a triskelion?
Oh, triskelion is something.
Triskelion. I had the word on the tip of my tongue and it's fucking vanished. Let me just double check.
Yeah, it's a triskelion.
Symboling 3 curved or jointed segments. I think that's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So it looks a bit like that, but it looks organic. Yeah, that.
It's like 3 tentacles coiled in onto a central Y shape.
But it doesn't have the spirals in it. That's just the shape it reminds you of. But it's like looks like it's carved out of wood maybe, but it looks very organic. It's like this 3-bulbed shape, like sort of pressed into resin on the end of a silver chain. You could do me a natural world roll.
Unusual.
Very unusual. Anyone who's looking at this, I think it's only Bjarmia who's found it.
I'm not there.
Carraig-Muire's dashed out. But feel free to give me a natural roll in that moment if you'd like to.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's a 31 and a 10, so a fail.
You get the impression it's something organic rather than carved, but you've no idea what it could be.
Yeah.
Perregrine, as Carraig-Muire dashes to the door and as Lady Helen sort of picks this off the body, what are you doing after you finish the last rites, as it were? Not the last rites, that's Catholic, but you know the...
Oh, no, I guess it's effectively the same thing. I stand up, I take the paper that he didn't take.
Yeah.
I fold it up carefully.
Yeah.
I look at my pocket knife that I didn't have to use.
Yeah.
I sort of say a silent prayer of thanks that I didn't have to use it, and I put it away.
Yeah.
And I just take a few steps back from the body and
Carraig-Muire, as you barrel out to the...
I don't want to go too far from the doorway, but I want to stop anyone from coming in, basically.
You do hear the porter, a sort of wavering voice from downstairs going, "Is that you, Mrs. Lady Potts? Is all right? They've not arrived
Stevens.
yet?"
Stephen, there's been a terrible...
Yes?
No, it's all so terrible, Stevens. Get the police to come up here as soon as they arrive.
I will. All right, sir.
You stay down there. Don't come up.
Yes, sir.
I believe, friends, I believe we must to Yorkshire.
I stagger back to the doorway. Why?
Where else can we find answers to this? You know it as well as I do. We fled from that place before we'd fully understood what was going on. Everything points us back there. Pugh's story of Robert Thompson. This document here, which has the stamp of Professor Miriam Dagg at Whitby Museum. The stories of these burials on the North Yorkshire coast, everything points us back there. If this is to be resolved, there's nowhere else to go.
It certainly seems that the crows may have had many friends willing to do their bidding and willing to bide their time in doing it, I say, looking down at the fake policeman.
Do you think it was him?
Perhaps it's time we go and reckon with them once and for all, make sure they're definitely dead. I say, hefting the cricket bat
2
over my
bodies,
shoulder.
he said. 2 bodies were found.
Was it him? Was it him who did for Pugh? No, I mean...
Billy Crow.
You think it was... Aye. We never did find the body. Crow.
2 bodies they found, not 3.
Well, let's go find that third. Or make it.
Let's hunt some orc.
Smash the whiskey glass off the table.
Perregrine flicks his knife. He smashes the cricket bat. Carraig-Muire jacks
It's
up.
never been a flick knife until this moment.
He opens the bag and takes out his pipe. It's not even got anything in, but
And he just says, "I love it when a plan comes together."
I hate it when your plans come together, you two.
I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and he shall comfort your heart. Wait patiently for the Lord. I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and he shall comfort your heart.
I'll get Judas ready.
Wait for the Lord. Why did you call your horse Judas?
And his chariot.
Infidel!
I dread to think what would happen to the person who murdered Rebel Sleep. I fear that he'd come back as a ghost and destroy that person's life over and over again. Not letting them die. That man is a fucker, and I'd fight by his side any day of the week.
If they've simply been...
Constable Putnam's corpse raises up suddenly and just crosses out the name, and then
I stab him repeatedly.
I'm just saying, if we've merely been observed with people, they may not know the significance of or relevance of the people we've been speaking to. It may have simply been a report, a record of our movements.
That's true.
Which is disturbing in itself, of course. Pervert.
well, the police arrived. The real Constable Putnam arrived. You could sort of tell immediately, less weird than the one you'd been interacting with. No one seemed to have bloodshot eyes or pupils. There was about 3 of the
giant owls.
the constables there. They took your statements. They didn't seem particularly. They seemed like. Oh, sorry.
How dare they?
I know.
Take my statement.
They'll give it back. They've got to put it in the lockup for now.
Barbarians.
But yes, savages. But I don't think. I think they seemed more to you like especially after the 2 strange encounters you had in the last night and day. They seemed to you more like genuine rural police, as in very taken aback by all of this, very sort of confused, and seemed to also take your word as academics and sort of higher ups. You know, they weren't sort of questioning you particularly. Is there anything that you would have wanted from them? They'll have been happy to sort of put a watch on to contact the local constabulary in Farley Wallop and make sure that someone was watching your mother, I think.
Yes, I think I requested that, didn't I? Maybe. I feel like I did.
I think I send an urgent message down to the last known address I have for Rebel Sleep.
Oh, yes.
Which will probably be back in Cornwall.
I'd imagine so. Kerno, as he'd call it, of course.
Yeah, Kerno, sorry. And it says, I'm not sure, essentially it says, I'm not sure when you'll be back. But if you get this, keep your Winchester close to you.
Yeah.
Remember what happened
on the 3rd day. Look to the
up at the up at the river on the 3rd day. Look for ambushes and trust no one.
Yeah.
I shall be in touch.
Look for my coming on the 7th day.
Essentially, like bullshit stuff like that, which of course all means to him without saying anything to anyone else who intercepts it.
Of course, yeah. And do you do that in lieu of ask? Do you do that in lieu of recommending a police watch or anything like that?
I love
like
the way you speak that language. It's just so beautiful. I do, because he doesn't want the police near him. I don't want to cause him trouble.
This is what I was assuming, yeah.
I know, no.
Yeah.
Don't want to... He's no friend of the police. Maybe back in Kerno he's got some police under his thumb or wing or whatever you call it.
Well, the Kerno police, they're different, right?
Exactly, you know.
Yeah. They're a private army, really.
The watch.
Is private.
As I believe there are still down there. There's no Bow Street runners, that's for sure.
Yes.
So I think, once I've sorted that out, it's just a case of making sure I've got a good shotgun and my trusty stout stick.
Of course. I mean, there's
freshly cleaned of blood
en route,
and
freshly, yeah,
and my hammer's still ready in my pocket.
Quite right too.
Otherwise, I'm concerned about Lady Marjorie, because that was quite an experience for a woman of her age.
Yes,
and I immediately contact the best ladies cricket team that I know, and suggest her as an opener.
Yeah. Does she keep the cricket bat, do you think? I mean, it was one that had been discarded or confiscated, rather. Purloined.
I think I hand it to the doctor and I say, Doctor.
Lady Marjorie, you don't think they might want to take that in for evidence?
I think we should keep this upon us, lest it come in useful again. But it would be unbecoming for me to carry sports equipment. If you wouldn't mind.
Very well.
The policeman's lingering in the doorway.
Evidence of what?
Evidence of a good eye and a sure hand.
The last thing we need to do is encourage the police to distract themselves with cricket. They've got a mystery to solve.
I think you probably say that whilst casting eyes to the young constable lingering by the door, who sort of just nods and scampers off down the stairs.
Isn't that right, young constable?
Yes. And he just off he fucks. And quite right too. So in that case,
I taught your brother.
One moment.
Oh yes,
it does occur to me. The library here has some good tomes. Might it be worth looking into this Triskelion necklace? It's not an image that immediately rings any bells. Perregrine, what do you make of it?
Well, I think it means so many things that it might be hard to pin it down. But I suppose it wouldn't do.
I don't need Latin,
to
man. Just
delay our journey by half a day, perhaps. If you want to peruse the library, we could look into perhaps some of these books that we could. That would be an efficient use of our time, I suppose. Yes.
We could get the night train.
The sleeper.
I'm sure no malevolent force overseeing all that we encounter in our daily round would ever do something terrible to us if we were to sleep on a train.
No.
I imagine we're as safe or not asleep on a train as anywhere else, to be honest. These books.
Oh, good point.
I imagine Carraig-Muire's been on the Caledonian Sleeper from time to time.
Aye.
I won't sleep a wink anyway. I can't sleep when I'm getting banged around in the night like that.
Love it.
I've got a list of 3 books. Can I check? Were these the books that Robert had taken out from...
I think...
What's been going on your trains? That's what I'd like to know.
I just get very excited on locomotives.
Yeah.
They were checked out by Robert from the Oster library catalogue. And Theodore also said, at least, that they'd not been returned. And that Robert had said to him he'd entrusted certain books to Miriam Dagg at the Whitby Museum.
So I also say, if we're going to the library, it might be worth just following up on those 3 books that Robert supposedly checked out and didn't return. Perhaps see if there's any record of... first to confirm that they genuinely haven't been returned. Perhaps there might be a second copy of one of them, although it seems unlikely. All 3 of them seem like rather obscure texts, but you never know.
We could send a note to Tavistock's in Covent Garden. They could possibly be able to procure, the 2, certainly Beowulf they'll have. Though you've got your own copy here, haven't you,
That's
Lady
not
Marjorie?
a bad idea at all.
Yes, I keep it in my bedstand.
Your copy of Beowulf, Lady Marjorie, do you mind me asking, is it an annotated first edition? Just in case there's any significance to that fact.
But Saxon burial and witchcraft of the 18th century influence, that's...
pretty niche stuff.
We could ask there whether they have any copies. We could pick them up on the way through to the sleeper.
Well, I know it didn't make much sense to me when I heard it.
I step back and wince.
A first edition of Beowulf.
I imagine that's what was meant by that.
I don't think I meant a first edition, but I mean of that edition.
Well, do you know what? We should just go to the library and find out exactly what...
Shitty thumbprints.
Find out whose translation
It's
it
the
is.
first edition of the translation, the famous translation by...
It's written on human skin, and it's...
It's translated by R.R.J. Niltkin, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
He's the one who writes those silly books about dwarves.
Very silly.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, possibly about thwards.
The other thing I'd remind you of quickly is that the role I asked you to do that I don't think you succeeded on, Perregrine, was a natural world role in picking up the Triskelion symbol.
Thank you. Yeah.
Which stands, but that was because it looked organic. It was, I think, less that it looked like something that had been carved and more that. But I just thought I'd remind you of that. Just so, yeah.
Here, may I have a look at that?
I sort of reluctantly hand it over. So the Vegvasir is on the ring, and the Triskelion is on. So the symbol is familiar to me, but the material is the thing that I was curious about.
Like a neck. It's like sort of. It's like looks wooden, but organic. It's in resin, and it was on a necklace.
To be honest, I couldn't tell. It was some sort of resin or
yeah.
Amber. Take a look. Tell me,
because it looks like something that's organic rather than carved. So it's odd that it resembles this symbol.
So mighty 17 I'm rolling against, keeper of the Oster inner chambers.
I like that.
I've rolled a 33 and 17. No joy.
So I think again you don't really glean much more than that. Although you do sort of. I think maybe there's a part of you that looks at it and thinks it's almost as irritatingly close to your mind as when you looked at those fractal ammonites for the first time. Like the sort of the spirals within the spirals. Like there's something about its nature that it's like it's recognizable, but something slightly amiss, and you can't quite put your finger on it. You know, it's tantalizingly close, but you just can't quite get there.
I think I do say to them both, makes me think of those fractals. You remember?
Well,
I pass it back to you. My hand isn't shaking. I think you do see that I've got the Vegvasir ring on as I hand it back.
And your fingers turn into just a long twig. No, it hasn't.
Which pierces Perregrine.
Pierces Perregrine.
let's do at least that.
And I wake up and I've dozed off.
Yeah.
Trying to read
Dr. Henry.
Trying to read Beowulf on the train.
Yeah.
No, that's entirely your scene.
I wanted to check on it. Well, yes, Lady Marjorie. Yeah, I'll defer to you.
So, well, you did want to check the library at Oster on the way out. I will say, unless you want to look up anything else, like I would say if you're checking on the books, the woman at the desk. Hello. Yes.
Good evening.
Evening.
Yes, don't worry, Perregrine. I'll deal with this. This woman. You are a woman, are you?
I am, yeah.
I don't think it's right that you should be working in a library. Anyway...
I'm just covering the evening.
Yes. We're looking for 3 books. We believe they may have been checked out, but we wanted to check.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't expect any resistance in this matter, as I'm an educator here at the college. Now, there's apparently a first edition of Beowulf.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Remarkable as that meant be.
I believe that's about 1,500 years old, something like that.
Right, well, she starts putting on a pair of white gloves. I'll have a look.
Or any copy of Beowulf. I don't know. Do you have more than one?
Well, I imagine so, yeah.
Which I imagine won't get us very far. Don't you have a record you can check beyond your fantasies?
Yes, well, I'll have a look here. So, Beowulf, yes. There's about 10 different editions here, I think.
Oh, how wretched.
Beowulf and his relation to Norse legends, Beowulf.
All right, we'll start with the more esoteric texts and we'll circle back to that.
I think that's a good idea.
We've got one about what's it called? Saxon burial and...
Oh, right.
The Saxon burial traditions of the North Yorkshire coast.
Oh, yes. Oh, one of our most popular ones, that.
Is it? Oh.
Just a little joke. But it is out. Oh, so it must be quite popular.
Who checked that one out?
R. Thompson. Oh, yeah, Robert Thompson.
When?
This was... Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, he'll be owing a considerable fine. That's over a year ago now. 15 months.
Goodness, and I imagine the same will be true of this other one, which is called Witchcraft, and its influences on something or other.
On the 18th century Christian tradition, yes.
Oh, Christian tradition. Okay. Witchcraft and its influences on 18th century Hindu tradition, Muslim tradition. Christian tradition. Yeah, there we are. Yes, you're not wrong. Checked out by Mr. R. Thompson. Same time, same date, same place.
Would you mind... this is a funny question, I know, but who was the last person to check those two books out before Robert Thompson, and was it by any chance the same person?
Yes. We need to know.
I don't get it.
Prior to...
Sorry, I really don't get it.
Who booked
Thompson?
Yes.
I know you said it was a funny question.
Oh, no, not funny, ha-ha. Funny, weird, you know.
Oh, you're an insufferable woman.
Oh, funny weird. We don't get
Carraig-Muire.
much of that in Odster.
Do you still have that cricket bat?
Oh, yes. So that would have been... Oh, yes, 2 months before... Mr. Pugh, Theodore Pugh.
Check them out before Robert Thompson.
Horror.
How interesting.
Yes.
Both of them.
Let me just check. Yes. Yes.
Madam. Madam,
Oh, yeah.
Madam, the Beowulf.
Yeah.
If you could go through the Beowulfs, tell me which one was checked out by Robert Thompson at the same time, and if you could tell me who that edition was annotated or translated by, that would be very helpful to our investigation.
Oh, yes. No, I'll do that just now, yes. Here we are.
Thank you so much for your time, Belinda. It's really appreciated.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. And thank you for remembering my name.
It's on your name tag, my dear.
Oh, so it is. I've always liked you. Not that I've ever met you. Where are we? So, Beowulf in this. Beowulf.
There'll be a handsome tip in this for you if you sort us out.
Oh, here we are. R.R.J. Miltkin. That's... yes, that was the translator. That's the one checked out by Robert Thompson and again, Mr. Pugh just beforehand.
Is there... humour me, please. Is there perhaps anyone who checked out these three books before either of those individuals? If the names are all different, don't worry, I won't pester you with that. But if there's another coincidence, it would be good to know it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, very strange, same date, same people.
Although I suppose if people are working on the same research projects, it might make some sense.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've got here, we've got, Robert Quatermain, that's on the 15th, 2 days before. We've got Simon Gray. No, there doesn't seem to be any connection before that, no.
Well, it does make sense, I say, in a sotto voce to the other two. It does make sense. It fits with the story. He said that he felt guilty about giving them the nudge to go up there. So he gets them all out, checks his facts, and then gives them over to Rabbi.
Yes, indeed. And
Philip Ridley.
Just to be fastidious.
Mike Lee.
Yes, the date that Mr. Pugh took them out.
Yes.
Do you know how far before
2
Robert
months
Thompson that was?
Yes, first one, 2 months. Well, they were all on the same day. I mean, I could check through and see if he checked any other books out on that day, but I mean, it would take me a while. I'd have to...
Oh, that might actually be a very good idea.
Oh, yes, that's an excellent idea.
It might take me a while because obviously it's not cross-referenced under who's taken them out. I'll have to go through every single one. But, if you're not in a rush...
Well, we might have a little look around. We have some other business to attend to, and maybe we'll come back before we leave.
Oh, please. Oh, yes. Well, gives me something to do at least. Thank you. And she sort of pushes her horn-rimmed spectacles up a bit and
very good.
Starts scrolling through.
Thank you. Tip the woman, Perry. Right.
Oh God.
I hand her a couple of pennies. Less.
Tip her out of the window. Yeah. Oh, thank you. She sort of looks at it confusedly and sort of slides it onto the desk next to her.
I've already walked off.